Hey Vault Dwellers, JV here, and today I'm discussing the stash problem in Fallout 76. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more Fallout 76 videos just like this. Before we jump in, heads up, the final beta times have been announced for Fallout 76. Your last opportunities to play this game before launch will be November 6th, Tuesday, from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Time, and November 8th from 2 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. From that point on, we'll be waiting until launch on November 14th. Let's dive into the topic that has been the focus of this entire community for the past week, and that's the stash. In Fallout 76, every player has access to a personal box where they can store their items without worrying about them being stolen by other players. This, of course, was a major issue when we learned that there would be PvP in this game. Lots of people were worried about that, and Bethesda assured us that there would be a way to protect our valuables from others. But over the course of many beta sessions, it's pretty clear there's a major problem with stashes, and that's that they're way too small. We only have 400 storage space for our junk, aid, weapons, armor, and whatever else we'd like to stow away. Veterans of the series are used to having unlimited storage in previous games that were offline, while new players are wondering how they're supposed to manage all their junk when their stash is full just hours after starting the game. And really at the core of this problem for me is the whole concept of a live service Fallout game like 76. In a Fallout game, you're looting. Carry weight is a constant consideration. You're always getting new items and you're always having to offload them. Bethesda has said they want us to be playing this game, quote, forever. So there's no way we're going to be questing, looting, shooting, and doing more looting for years with only a 400 stash limit. There's only one true solution in my mind, and that's that the stash needs to be increased. Of course, we have to be realistic here about how much it should be increased by because the answer isn't unlimited. The issue I see Bethesda running into is with their cloud servers. I know just as much as the next guy about what goes on under the hood with Fallout 76, which is to say pretty much nothing, but I do know that our stashes are stored on servers, and every single time we access them, that data is being transferred from somewhere to our game. So with that in mind, how hard is it to expand that 400 stash limit? I have zero clue, and your guess is probably as good as mine. All I know is that it really negatively impacts the overall experience. The stash limit adds to the pressure of micromanagement that is already there. It's normal to have to manage your carry weight. I think that's a natural part, it's a natural convention of any Fallout game, and I would miss it if it weren't there. But in the beta, I found myself spending a little too much time managing my weight. If I spent 5 to 10% of my experience in Fallout 3, Fallout 4, and Fallout New Vegas offloading junk and prioritizing what I need to carry, I'm spending double that in Fallout 76. I think that's also because of the general increase in carry weight across all of the items. I believe Bethesda did this to add those softcore survival elements, but it's adding up to be a bit too much. I do think there's something to be said for forcing players to be a little more careful about what they pick up, but that's an effect of a larger issue. There is legitimately not enough space for the average player. It's forcing everyone to make every effort possible to find workshops or workbenches to scrap our items, convert them to junk, and then when we've reached our absolute limit, we're forced to make a trip back to our camp. It's forcing us to move our camps as well, more often, spending more caps than we would otherwise. This is not a problem just for junk hoarders, it's really an issue affecting everyone. The magic number in my head for the stash to be increased to is 1,000. I think I would be pretty happy with 1,000 storage limit. The key is to find that magic number that allows us to keep a decent amount of junk for camp building, crafting, and repairing, allowing us to stow away higher level items like weapons and armor for later, stash our fun cosmetic gear, and save our most valuable aid items. I do think there is something to be said for having a limited stash in a live service game. We shouldn't be able to keep everything forever. That just doesn't make sense. It's not feasible. But let's say that magic number of 400 can't be increased, at least not easily, and it takes a little while for that change to come into effect. How does Bethesda fix this problem? What are the alternative solutions? Perhaps junk should have its own limit within our stashes, or maybe its own container. A junk stash might be a nice way to solve this issue. Give us a separate space with a 2,000 limit. That way we don't have to worry about scrapping and offloading weight nearly as much. Then that 400 might be more reasonable for all of our other items. If that isn't possible, they could consider altering the bulk system. Right now you can combine plastic with any other type of junk component to create a bulk version of that junk. The thing is, that doesn't decrease the overall weight of that junk. It just allows you to sell it to the robot NPC vendors. Maybe turn that into a way to magically decrease the weight of junk. It would add another system into the game, but it could definitely be a workaround. Another idea, decrease the overall weight of junk. This one is a bit messier because that would affect the entire economy of the game. Think about it. If junk weighs less, then would the Pack Rat perk card become less valuable? Would I make less trips to my camp and spend more time playing the game than managing my carry weight? What effect would that have on other parts of the game? I think it would be pretty massive, so I think that's like a last resort. In any case, I would really like to see Bethesda come out and acknowledge the issue, or even better, give us their potential solution by launch, by November 14th. A Bethesda.net post or a tweet would be awesome. The best possible scenario is a legitimate fix before launch, but I would not be expecting that. That would surprise me in a great way, but I'm not sure that we will get that fix before launch. In any case, I think this is a great opportunity for us as a community to observe how Bethesda is going to act and address this stuff into the future. How responsive, how aware are they about problems in Fallout 76? How quickly will they respond, and how quickly will it be addressed? We'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, for the last few beta sessions, here are a few carrying weight tips to help you manage that limit. Some of these will be obvious, but things to keep in mind because you're probably forgetting at least one of these. First off is to scrap your junk before stashing it. Make sure you're not just dumping endless toy rockets and combination wrenches into your camp stash. Take all of those junk items to any workbench and click the dedicated Scrap All Junk button. That way you're filling it with steel and plastic instead. Be a little more selective about what you're picking up. I made a video for Fallout 4 called a junk guide, which basically explains what I feel is worth picking up or passing on when you're looting items. Pay close attention to the ratio of the weight to components you're getting for each item. For example, if a gas canister weighs 3 and only yields 2 steel when scrapped, that's not really worth the weight. By comparison, you could find a wrench that weighs 0.5 and yields 1 steel. That's much better. Seek out workbenches in the world. You'll be able to find a variety of armor, weapon, chemistry, and tinkerer's workbenches in many places on the map. You can use any of those to scrap unwanted weapons and armor, along with your junk to cut down on unnecessary trips back to your camp. I'm thinking about making a video where I show you guys all of the workbench locations in the world. It's such a valuable tool that everyone should be using. Use your weight reduction perks, Pack Rat, Through Hiker, Traveling Pharmacy. I'm not saying to take these, but if you happen to get them in your first few perk card packs, a lot of these will cut down your weight and allow you to pick up more. You also have perks like Dromedary, Slow Metabolizer, and Good Doggy. These will make your food and drinks more effective and let you carry less aid items. Finally, eat certain types of meat and take drugs. Certain meat items increase your carry weight and generally provide a nice chunk of health and hunger meter. That's worth it. Go hunting and cook that meat for an extra weight bonus, or pop any buff out you find for extra carry weight. In the comment section, tell me how you would fix this stash problem for Bethesda. Share your thoughts below. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe and hit the bell for more Fallout 76 content, like my last video where I share my favorite early game perks. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.